numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers. Big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist, man. Check the wrist, man. Got him hot. Hey, man, can't ball like this, man. Lord.
Menu narration option is set to off.
I'm talking a few 100,000 yards. You just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she wanted like me cause her like she can't count on him. She tried to be nosy and hit up my ex. She like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God. Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check 3, check 3, check 3. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. 44 is the mark. Alert. 44. Switch up. Let's go.
They'll run for the first time here with Brown.
He's cracked. He's checked.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, This is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, let's see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just stuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. They'll set up to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack. And that's what I'm seeing so far.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Give him 30 yards there.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
Hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Running right, here's Brown. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Texans push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find it.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Escaping the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Watson, off play action. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down.
Switch. Check 26. Bang. 9.
Now a handoff working right. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Now they try the right side here. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Don't want to.
We know, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. 44. Out of the gun, Watson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. Completes it to Lee. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Second and 15. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number one. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backward. And the pressure gets to him again. Jadeveon Clowney able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And that will wind up just short. He had it online. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
On first down, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable third down. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. From the gun on third, Watson. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans push further out in front. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. This will be taken in at the 1. So we've come to, and now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. He finds his man Johnson. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. This is Foster. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to...
And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowler, Jalen Ramsey. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
You see it all day. Pick.
That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
I'm trying to collect.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And they give this time to the tailback. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the third quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. A huge play there for Houston. 41 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Check 25. Watch that. He's coming. We got double up. Hey, 31.
They run. It's Foster. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 27, Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Jam. Back. Out.
They'll try and run for it with Foster. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Here we go.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Hey, watch that.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it was finished off by the 14-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Ready? 30 base. 56, right there. 56. Blue Dan. Slam. Down.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
We got to step it up.
2nd and 6. It's caught. Mitchell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Houston. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go screen here to Hunt. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. He'll drop to throw. And it's complete to Mitchell. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throw left side complete. It's Lee. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams. They put it all together.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 46. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. The Jaguars on third down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously he is well short of the first. Needed more than 3, but that's all they got. And it's 4th down.
Well, they dialed up the screen there, hoping that convoy of blockers could get out in front and get him enough yardage for the first down, but they were able to get there before he got to the sticks.
Let's go, son.
Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and it's third down. The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll look to throw here. Incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold us down. We're going to keep getting sacks.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things. Oh, had to get it out quick. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt. And here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2. And that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he doesn't have a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
A 1st down carry for Foster. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Back to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Houston, they make a